The month of April has just concluded, and here are the books that I read in the past month. So if you've been following me before April, I actually posted my April hopefuls, and honestly, I didn't follow it. I actually read only 3 out of the 5 books in my April TBRs, and the first one is The Keeper of Lost Things by Ruth Hogan, which I rated 3.5 stars. Now, some people may think that's quite a low rating and will probably conclude that it is a bad book. But honestly, in my own standards and scale, that was quite an okay rating. I actually enjoyed the book. I love Hogan's writing and how she was able to wrap everything up in the ending, but I don't think it's compelling enough for it to deserve 4 or 5 stars, at least in my own standards. Next one is Sally Rooney's Normal People, which I rated 3.5 stars. I know a lot of you love this book, and as much as I wanted to love it as well, I feel like I read it in a wrong time. I actually don't hate the book. I just feel like my old self will love it more than my present self. The book heavily focused on character development, and I personally believe Sally Rooney did well on that part because the characters are very relatable. You can resonate with their monologues, with how they think, with how they act. But personally, I have long grown out of those behaviors, and reading them in a book was quite mentally taxing for me. In short, Normal People by Sally Rooney isn't just for me. Next up is the second book in the Poppy War trilogy, The Dragon Republic. This was actually my most anticipated read for the month, and to tell you honestly, it didn't disappoint me. It is actually my first 5-star read of the year and my favorite book from the series so far. For me, it filled all the gaps I have observed when I was reading the first book, and R.F. Kuang drastically improved when it comes to pacing. It wasn't dragging, it kept me on the edge of my seat, and if I wasn't working, I would have finished this book in a day or 2. Also, I am a big sucker for found family trope, and although yes, Rin may be in denial or sometimes hostile with how she feels or relates with a certain group of people in the book, I don't care. This book took the found family trope loving heart out of my chest and stomped on it. I was so devastated, I gave the book 5 stars. Well, of course, it's more than that, but all I can say is, after reading this book, R.F. Kuang certainly earned another fan in me. And the last book I read in the past month is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, which, mind you, earned 5 stars from me. This wasn't actually in my April TBR. I read it because I was in the mood, and reading this after Dragon Republic, while I don't regret it, I do not recommend it. It was so emotional for a children's book, and maybe that's why I like it. Patrick Ness succeeded in his goal of writing a children's book that will touch people's lives regardless of their age. So if you're looking for a simple but worthwhile read, this may be for you. So that was my April reading wrap up. How about you guys? Tell me yours in the comments below.